So on page 33 in your notebook, you need to label it area and perimeter circumference, learning target 5. And from our pre-assessment, so you need to take these notes down. From our pre-assessment yesterday, we all seem pretty good with a rectangle. And a rectangle is base times height. And then area, or perimeter, sorry, is 2 of those bases and 2 of those heights. Didn't really have a square on there, but just note that a square can be done by just doing sides squared because it's the same thing on all 4 sides. You can also treat it as a rectangle and do base and height. That's be the same. Perimeter for a square is the 4 S's. Triangle we all seem fine with, base and height, making sure the height and the base form the right angle, not the slant, and you might need to use Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared to find a piece of that, like we've done. The one that was giving most people trouble is the circle. So we'll look at a couple examples of those. Area of a circle is pi r squared, circumference is 2 pi r or pi d. If it says exact answers will mean we'll leave pi in the answer. So we'll show you that on a problem. So go ahead and write down your formulas. We should also note that diameter is 2 of the radii put together. So there's radius, which is half the diameter, and then diameter is all the way across. So we have all our formulas. Perimeter, remember, is outside, so you have to add up all the sides. So we're just going to look at a couple questions. We're not going to look a lot. I think everybody's good with rectangles, squares, and triangles. We'll do a little triangle work, but then mostly circles. Right. As we look at a few examples, got actually 4 here that we're going to do. So our first example is a triangle. We had one of these yesterday, but I just want to kind of go over it again. If we have a triangle, and I want to do the perimeter or the area in this case, well, I have to find this missing side, and I'll call it A. So to do that, we'll do the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus 3 squared equals 7 squared. And in this case, we're looking for a leg, not the hypotenuse. So we'll get a squared equals 49 minus 9, which is 40, square root. So square root of 40 would be then 2 radical 10, because that's 4 times 10. So this side is 2 radical 10. If we're looking for the perimeter, it would be 3 and 7, which is 10, plus 2 radical 10. And if we're looking for the area, it would be 1/2 base and height. So 2 radical 10 there would be. The 2's would cancel, and our answer would be 3 radical 10. So the 2's can cancel out. That's legal. So just remember, if it's a triangle, you might have to do some Pythagorean theorem. If it's a circle, you need to pay attention to if it's radius or diameter. Really what I want to talk about is if it wants you to do an exact answer. So exact answer means you leave it in terms of pi. So area for this one would be pi r squared. So you would put 4 squared and do 16, and you would do 16 pi, and that would be what we call an exact answer. If they want you to approximate, you would put 3.14 in for pi, but this is exact. In the case of this one, let's say it wanted circumference, then a good way to do that is pi d, or you can find the radius. It's 7.5 for a radius, half of that. But if you take pi times d, and we want it exact, if we want an exact answer, that would be exact. If you did 2 pi r, you would do 2 pi, and then r would be 7.5. You would still end up with 15 because 2 would fit 7.5. But those are exact. When it wants exact, you leave pi in it. So 15 pi, 16 pi, that's exact. If they want approximate, then you would replace pi with 3.14. So approximate would be 16 times 3.14, which would be, let it open, would be about 50.24. Alright, so that would be our answer at approximate. So exact, you leave pi, and approximate, you put in 3.14. So pay attention to the directions on what it asks for. And then finally, we'll look at one ordered pair question. It says find the perimeter of triangle EFG. We should easily be able to do this. So I'm just going to draw an axis and we're going to graph it. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's where we're going to put E. G is at negative 3, negative 2. So just draw yourself an axis. And F is at 3, negative 2. Looks like we have a very nice little triangle. We could even find the area if we wanted to. So there's our triangle. Looks like it might be a right triangle. The nice thing about that is we can actually find this because it is a right triangle. They're both at negative 2. So we have down 2 and then up 6. So it looks like this side is 8. It's already done. Looks like we can count this side also. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, looks like. Negative 3 to 3. And then it looks like with a little Pythagorean theorem, we don't have to draw it in. We can just do this. Pythagorean theorem to find EG. Do the square root of 6 squared plus 8 squared. Looks like that's 36 and 64, which is 100, which gives us a pretty answer of 10. So our perimeter of triangle EFG would be 6 plus 8 plus 10. And that looks like it'd be 24 units. Remember, perimeter and circumference are just units, and area is always a unit squared. It's a two-dimensional unit. You should now be working on your homework assignment. So I've left you a homework page. If you finish today, you can turn it in. If not, it's due when you walk in tomorrow. And then there is a My Math Lab that's now been opened. It's open till Monday. Don't forget, you also have your math. If you have questions, you need to come see me. I'll be here after school. I'll be here tomorrow morning, tomorrow after school, and so forth.